Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for staying so late in the day. I'm sorry if you were expecting to see Rocket. I think they're a great company, but hopefully Tencent won't disappoint you. My name's Dan Brody. I work with Tencent. We're a fairly successful Chinese internet company, but we're not super well known in the West. So since we have the assembled wisdom of Europe's and the world's best internet companies as well as investors here, I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce ourselves to you. Tencent was actually, being Chinese, we like to look at history first. We have many thousands of years of it. So we look back at our beginning story. We're 16 years old. We actually just celebrated our 16th birthday on November 11th, a couple days ago. The company started around a social chat application called QQ, which many of you may remember the days of ICQ, and QQ is a very similar type of program to that. And it has developed into a diversified internet conglomerate that spans many different sectors. I personally work for the games division, interactive entertainment group, which is primarily games, but also includes things like movie, TVs, animation, things like that. So I'll be talking a lot more about that, but we have actually many products spanning across many different sectors. Of course, China's a very large country, so there's lots of very large numbers. Our core chat product of QQ currently has over 820 million monthly active users. Of those, around 540 million access it on a smart device. And last quarter, we reached 217 million PCU, that's peak concurrent users. That's 217 million users online at the same time using QQ. We also have a product called WeChat or Weixin, which has over 455 million monthly active users. Just for clarification, WeChat and Weixin are actually two different products. WeChat is the international version hosted on international servers that is used around the world. Weixin is the Chinese version hosted on Chinese servers used within China. But together, they account for over 450 million monthly active users. And in addition, we also have Qzone, which is our social networking product, which has over 600 million monthly active users, of which over 500 million access it on a smartphone. So this is our internal organization is actually split up into 6 main business groups as well as a technology group which supports all of the business groups. You can see we have spanned many different products. We have a mail product, it's basically like the Gmail of China. We have below that is the payments products like the PayPal of China. Mobile Internet Group has lots of security products. The WeChat group I just mentioned. And the Interactive Entertainment Group, which is the gaming group. Which I come from, and we represent around, for the past 4 or 5 years, we've been just about half of the companies of Tencent's revenue, and it has been a very successful group that we're very proud of, and so that's what I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about today. Briefly, in the online media group, we also have the largest web portal in China, one of, if not the largest, online video portal in China, and within our social networking group, I just mentioned that we have the largest 600 million plus people on our Qzone, and our music product as well. So when you talk about China, of course, you have to first say China is very large. There's lots of statistics about how large it is, but it's just really big. It's, there are 7 billion people on the planet, 1.4 billion of them live in China, so that's 20% of the global population. Our smartphone device shipments are, equivalent to, it's the largest single market in the world, and it creates a lot of interesting possibilities for us. The mobile internet user base, we expect to reach over 700 million by the end of this year. Mobile games is an area that I'm going to spend quite a bit of time talking about because it's been responsible for a lot of growth recently, and we've seen the mobile game sector come out of nowhere. For instance, if you remember in the PC gaming era, for us, it took us around 5 years to reach 100 million registered users. In the mobile gaming era, it took us 5 months to reach that same level. And that has led to the mobile game market in China increasing dramatically. This year, it's expected to be about $4 billion. 3.6 looks like is our official estimate, although it might come in a little bit higher than that. By comparison, last year was $2 billion, and next year we expect to be $6 billion. And at that point, Tencent expects to be sharing around $500 million out with third-party developers in the mobile gaming space. So China's a really big market. By comparison, the American and the Japanese mobile gaming markets will grow from around 5 point something to close to $6 billion next year. China's going from 2 to 4 to $6 billion. So it's growing massively, great market, love to get my games there. However, it's incredibly complicated. The rest of the world, you can design for sort of 20 or maybe top 50 devices in the, or worst case scenario, top 100 devices in the smartphone arena, and you're fine. Not in China. There's many hundreds of devices that you need to decide for, several of which are extraordinarily low-end devices that you really need to, that Western developers don't necessarily worry about so much. In addition, it's a very complex network environment. So it's a really large market, but it's a really tough market. At the same time, we've discovered that the gamers are becoming incredibly mature. It's the world's largest collection of gamers. They're spending more time online, and they're discovering lots of new and exciting gaming genres, which we see as leading to lots of new growth in that into the area. Real quick on our mobile gaming platform, as of a year ago, 2 years ago, we decided that mobile was an important shift, and we started moving a lot of resources over into mobile gaming. We saw the fruits of that labor emerge last August when we launched our mobile gaming sector. In Q3 of last year, our mobile gaming revenue was $0. Q4 of last year, we reported around $100 million. Q1 of this year, it was $300 million. Q2 was close to 500, around $470+ million. And last night, we just reported Q3 revenue was $420 million. So there's very few companies in the world that are operating at that level of revenue basis, and we're doing it on the basis of one country, just in China. So we've seen massive and tremendous growth in the mobile gaming sector, and something we're really excited about. We've launched around 30 games in the past year, of which pretty much all of them go to the top of the charts in downloading, and most of them go to the top of the charts in grossing. For every month of the year, if you look at the App Annie statistics, you'll see 7 of the top 10, around 13 or 14 of the top 20 top grossing games in China are published by Tencent. And so we've been able to maintain, roughly around half of the market. And these are numbers that we talk about in the Chinese press, but we don't often tell people about it in the rest of the world. You can see that we have some games that are generating over 50 million renminbi a month. That's about 1 to 10 to the British pound, 1 to 6 to the US dollar. So that's around 5 million British pounds per month from a single game. We have several other games operating above 30 million renminbi, which is around $5 million, and several others operating above 10 million renminbi, which is about $1.67 million. So that's monthly revenue. There's not many games in the world that operate at this level. It's a huge market. It's doing great, and we're enjoying a lot of the success of that. I've been in China for a long time, and I've watched Tencent's growth and been really impressed by it. And this sort of shows what the Tencent team has done over the years, and I'm really happy to have joined them now. Back in 2007, 2008, of the publicly listed Chinese gaming companies, they're all around the same size. But since then, Tencent basically just took off and became this publishing masterpiece of both publishing third-party games as well as our own games. Tencent now has around $150 billion market cap. It's one of the largest companies in the world, and within the gaming sector, it's definitely the world's largest company. I'll just close with a couple of quick slides that show our capabilities. If there are any mobile game publishers out there, I'd love to talk to you afterwards. We see the integration of our services with mobile games to be a really strong way of benefiting both of our users as well as our third-party partners, and these are some of the tools that we use in order to benefit those people. I'll just close by saying a few of our successful examples that we've had. A lot of people complained that we were only publishing our self-developed games in the first couple of months. Well, that's because we were just getting started and we really needed to work out the kinks internally. But now we're having excellent examples whereby 3 months ago we had games from CJ Games, and then Candy Crush by King.com, and then Fruit Ninja by Halfrick, which have been the #1 downloaded games in China for the past 3 months in a row. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll turn it back over to you.
One last question. When European publishers want to go to China, they just send you an email or they contact you on LinkedIn, or what's the most pragmatic way to get in touch?
Please do. Well, of course, you can always go through NOAH Advisors to find me, but other than that, you can also my email is Brody@Tencent, my last name, or you can find me on LinkedIn. Love to hear from you all. Thank you very much.